Good morning, or whenever you get up. Could be in the afternoon if you like to sleep late. Well, we're doing our model cars and coffee this morning. This would be my second one, but many others have done. They're probably up to 4, 5, or 6 by now. I was late getting on board, but I think it's worked out very well. I enjoy watching everybody's videos. It's nice to literally sit there Sunday morning, drink some coffee, and see what everybody's doing. So I thought I would add something to that today. So showing a model that I've built. This is going to be another figure kit. This is a very rare kit. I'm not even sure you can get it anymore. I believe the website is probably still up, but I think it's 1/16 scale. But it was a great kit. I mean, I saw it, and for some reason, I just be cool. So it just has so many. I mean, obviously it's an Asian woman, but it has so many, things about that just seem to fit, and it's so well detailed. And I don't remember how many pieces, but let's say it's like 10 pieces. I want to say it's resin. It could have been 3D printed, but I believe it was resin. And it's an amazing job. And it has such a detail. And then I'm not very good with faces. And this camera here, there's just no way I can get this to be crystal clear. It's going to be a little fuzzy. But at the end of the video, I'm going to put in some still photographs so that you can see much better. But I just wanted to talk about it for a moment. So there's a lot of weathering I did because the outfits that she's wearing is probably pretty much different types of leather. And so I like painting that and detailing it and trying to bring out the textures and make it so that it looks like she's worn it a long time. She's used it. It came with the bow. I just used I believe I used a piece of guitar string or something to string the bow because it didn't have anything. And then I used washes on the clothing. And I mean, it goes everything from like grays and blues into different browns, all kinds of different colors. And I really enjoyed trying to make it as realistic as possible. And she has this mask that she carries. But I mean, it has the quill on her back and a little pouch. And I like the way her legs are wrapped. It just, everything about it. He wears a glove. I mean, everything about it just is just amazing detail work. And the figure just tells a story. And here's a funny thing. I think they had an illustration of this, not a photo, but an illustration of what you could do or what it might look like. And on the sash around her waist, it had an Asian floral design on it. And I had to think really hard, how am I going to duplicate that? Because my first thought was, well, I'll just paint it on there. But the more I thought about it, I mean, compared to the rest of the figure in the kit and my painting, I just thought me trying to paint those flowers on there to go all the way around her waist like that would just be so bad. It would just bring the whole model to a standstill. It would just devastate it. So I had to think about it for a while. And then one day I was in some kind of store, probably Target or Walmart or something or whatever. And I was looking at the decals that women use on their fingernails, right? They're just water slide decals, but they're very, very small because they're made to fit on your fingernail. And lo and behold, they had one with floral designs in it. And I was like, that is so awesome. That would be absolutely perfect for what I need. And I mean, you get like 4 or 5. The squares are only about maybe 2 by 3 inches, something like that. But there might be like 10 or 15 on that one square, and there's like 3 squares on a package. So, I mean, I have a lifetime supply now just by buying it that one time. But that just solved the problem, and when I put that on there, that just made the figure. I'm so glad I didn't try to attempt to paint it. It would have ruined it. But I like painting, as I mentioned before. I like painting figures. I like painting all the different shades of the clothing more than anything else, because I mean, you know how it is. You look on, like, especially like eBay's is horrible, because I mean, it's like one naked woman after another. But when you think about it, why would you want to build that? You're going to shoot it with one can, one color. You know, you're going to shoot it in skin tone, and then the model's going to be done. There's nothing to that. You know, you're better off getting a figure like this, I mean, for various reasons. But, you know, at least you have some things to paint and to detail and to make it not so much realistic, because, I mean, some of the figures are superheroes and things like that, which are not necessarily realistic, but or half and half. You know, it's a comic book character, which is not real, but then that doesn't mean you can't paint them to look real. As far as their clothing and everything, I'm not sure exactly how you would do that, but I haven't tried that myself yet. So, but yeah, I had a good time with this. They make another figure, but it's not like her, and it's not. It's a good figure, but it's just not something I'm interested in building or painting. But this one here is like just one of my favorites figures that I've ever done, just because it just came out so well, and I just like the way it came out. So that's the figure. That's the one model I have to show you. But I have a couple other things. I wonder if you had ever seen this. This is kind of unique, but I will show this here. Let's see how I can do this. This is an instruction sheet. This is for an AMT 1961 Imperial, but it's in color. I mean, they do color now. I mean, especially Revell Germany. Oh, they do like a monotone background on their instructions in Germany, not necessarily on the USA. You could buy the USA version of a model. It looks like it's black and white like any other one. Then you buy the Revell Germany, and the instruction sheet's entirely different. But I thought this was cool, and this is in really good condition. I picked this up at a model show for just a few dollars, but I'd never seen one like this before that had color actually on it. I said AMT. It's not AMT. It's SMP. So, but that's what I was thinking. So, but I mean, it gives you that, and then let's see. I'll flip it around, and then it is more black and white. This is a very basic model, and it's probably more of a promotional type model. It was originally. I've heard of SMPs, but I don't know much about them. And then, but I mean, when you follow the steps along from front to back, it's a very simplistic kit. But you can see the wheels there, and then they're just putting some screws on the screw bottom of it. Big piece of green there. But I just thought it was interesting if you had never seen something like that before. And then, like a road map, you have to fold it a certain way. There we go. You know, people make fun of me sometimes because I don't travel often, but when I drive and I travel in other parts of the state, I do have a travel atlas road map book. You know, and like, I just use a GPS. And there's a problem with the GPS. You know, yes, the GPS tells you where you are, and it tells you which direction you're going, but it doesn't show your destination on the screen necessarily. And even if it did, everything would be so small you could never follow that. So, it tells you how to get there. But when you're looking at a map book, you can see not just where you're starting from, but you can see all the things you're gonna see, and highways you're gonna cross, and where you're gonna go, and all the way to your destination. And a lot of times there might be something on that map that's along the way. You go, oh, well, that might be some place to stop off and take a look. But you're seeing that ahead of time, which you're not going to get. It's each one of them has their benefits. But to me, when I have the road map book, it's just, and not only that, I know sometimes they say it's the shortest route. And that's not always true either. And I know there's sometimes you can get a shorter route on a map book because you can see all the ways to go. And I know for a fact that a lot of those are not the digital ones. The whatever they're not 100% accurate too. And there's many stories you can read them where people get lost in the middle of nowhere because the thing was wrong. And even in my neighborhood. There's a bridge that they closed, and I see people come through my neighborhood doing like way over the speed limit, racing. You know, they're trying to get somewhere in a hurry, so they think that it's a shortcut because they're looking at their GPS. Oh, I'm going to turn down this road, shoot over that bridge. I'll be right over there. No, you won't, because that bridge is closed. But the GPS doesn't say that. So, you know, I see them coming down here, and all of a sudden they realize it's a dead end. So it's kind of funny in a way. But, you know, that with that aside, you know, that's just a side point. I want to show you something else too, just to make it interesting, since I'm not got much model stuff going on. So this is a brochure. Maybe I should turn it for the. I believe this is from the World's Fair. I think in 1939 or so. I forget what year. It's for the Seattleite. So I'm guessing it was this in Seattle is where they had the World's Fair on this particular time. It's been years since I dug this out, but this is like a brochure that shows, you know, how this is a concept car that Ford came up with, a nuclear-powered concept car. We're not quite there yet. I don't know if that's going to fly, but you can see here. You can see there, they're showing you that the nuclear power can be easily changed out. So, you know, you just take it off and then change it out. And here's the car from front to back, or back to front, or whatever. And then, you know, it's just a unique car. And I believe there's one other thing on here. Oh yeah, I don't know if you know what these are. If you live in Florida, you'll probably know. Maybe on the West Coast as well. These are called jalousie windows. You don't see them much in houses anymore because they're not very, you know, they're just going to leak your air conditioning right outside. So, you know, they're not really great windows for that. But they were perfect windows up till the 1950s, when people didn't have air conditioning. You could open all your windows with the jalousie window, and the air, in concept, would flow right through your house. And many houses were designed that way. They don't design houses that way today because we have air conditioning. But back then they used to design houses so that the air would actually flow through the house because there was no air conditioning. But they actually designed these to put on the car. So I don't know. I mean, that was a different time. So, but I thought y'all might get a kick out of that. So, and that's it. I have. I'm working on all my models. I do have a little bit going on the bench, but it was a long work week, so I did not get time to get over there and get some major things done. So there's no sense even filming anything over there. So I've probably gone on too long for a Model Cars and Coffee. So I'll stop, and I'm going to put the like I say, the poster and to the the link in the description for you at the beginning of this video, and you can snap it back. There's a color brochure for a model event that's near where I live. It's in Pompano, Florida, which is basically just a hair north of Fort Lauderdale. You might as well just say Fort Lauderdale. So if you are in Florida and you live somewhere and you want to go to an IPMS model show, there's one coming up at the end of August. So there's a picture of the flyer at the beginning of this. It's kind of small, however, and that I'm sure it'd be hard to read. But I'm going to put the link to their website in the comments below. You can click on that and you can go there and you can see, what they're doing and all the specifics of the show. And then, if for some reason you got relatives down here and you want to visit them or something, you can scoot down here and stop by the show. And I will also put a still picture at the end for the figure that I showed you earlier. So a lot going on. All right, I'll catch you next time at the next video. Thanks for watching. Later.